Toby is a tram engine. He has cow catchers and side plates and doesn't look like a steam engine at all. He takes trucks from farms and villages to the main line and is cheerful to everyone he meets. He has a coach called Henrietta, who has seen better days. It's not fair at all, she grumbles, remembering that she used to be full and 9 trucks would rattle behind her. Now there are only 3 or 4, but the farms and factories send their goods mostly by lorry. Toby is always careful. The cars, buses and lorries often have accidents. Toby hasn't had an accident for years. The buses are crowded and Henrietta is empty. A lady and a stout gentleman stood on Toby's platform. He was, of course, the Fat Controller, but Toby didn't know this yet. "Come on, grandfather," cried the children. "Do look at this engine." "That's a tram engine, Stephen," said the Fat Controller.
You know, I hate to ask, but the friend's electric.
asked Bridget. "Hush!" hissed Toby.
Shut up, he ordered.
"You've offended him. But trams are electric."
No.
"May we go in it, grandfather? Please?" "Stop!" said the Fat Controller to the children. They all scrambled into Henrietta. "Hip, hip, hooray!" chanted Henrietta. But Toby did not sing. "Electric indeed! Electric indeed!" he snorted. He was very hurt. "What is your name?" asked the Fat Controller. "Toby, sir." "Thank you, Toby, for a very nice ride." "Thank you, sir," said Toby. He felt better now. This gentleman, he thought, is a gentleman who knows how to speak to engines. The children came every day for 9 years. Sometimes they rode with the guard, sometimes in empty trucks. On the last day of all, the driver invited them into his cab. All were sorry when they had to go away. And the Fat Controller and his family thanked everyone. "Come again soon," replied Toby. We will," called the children. And they waved till Toby was out of sight. The months passed. Toby had few trucks and fewer passengers. "Our last day, Toby," said his driver one morning. "The manager says we must close tomorrow." That day everyone wanted the chance of a last ride. The passengers joked and sang, but Toby and his driver wished they wouldn't. "Goodbye, Toby," said the passengers afterwards. "We are sorry your line is closing down." "So am I," said Toby. Nobody wants me, Toby thought, and went on happily to sleep. Next morning the shed was flung open, and he woke with a start to see his driver waving a piece of paper. "Wake up, Toby," they shouted, "and listen to this. It's a letter from the stout gentleman." Toby listened and... But I mustn't tell you any more, or I shall spoil the next story.
Don't you hate to be continueds on TV? It's horrible when you sense the to be continued coming. You know, you're watching the show, you're into the story, and then there's like 5 minutes left, and suddenly you realize, hey, they can't make it. Timmy's still stuck in the cave. There's no way they wrap this up in 5 minutes. I mean, the whole reason you watch a TV show is because it ends. If I wanted a long, boring story with no point to it, I have my life. A comedian can't do that. See, I can't go, man walks into a bar with a pig under his arm. Can you come back next week?
Hello once again, audience. When we left off, I don't think we're standing this neatly, but we're somewhere else, and I turned it off and back on. Here we are. Welcome.
He whistled, "Good morning." Thomas expected that the new constable would be friendly too, but was sorry to see that he didn't look friendly at all. He was red in the face and very cross. "Disgraceful," he spluttered. "I didn't sleep a wink last night. It was so quiet, and now engines come whistling suddenly behind me. Engines come whistling suddenly behind me." He whistled, "Good morning." Thomas expected that the new constable would be friendly too. In front. "I'm sorry, sir," said Thomas. "I only said good morning." "That makes it worse." A policeman pointed to Thomas. "Where's your cowcatcher?" he asked. "But I don't catch cows, sir." "Don't be funny," snapped the policeman. Then he laughed. He looked at Thomas's wheels. No side plates either, and he wrote in his notebook, "Engines going on public roads must have their wheels covered and a cowcatcher in front to protect people and animals from being dragged under the wheels if they stray onto the line. You haven't, so you are dangerous."
Rubbish,
said Thomas's driver. "We've been along here hundreds of times and never had an accident." "That makes it worse," the policeman answered. He wrote law in his book. Thomas puffed sadly away. The fat controller was having breakfast. He was eating toast and marmalade.
I don't like that. You make this? I don't like it. Why? I don't know. I know I don't like it. And I know that if I ate it, I would like it even less. You like it? You eat it.
The butler came in.
Excuse me, sir. You're wanted on the telephone.
Bother that telephone,
said the fat controller.
And now I'm gonna pick up the freaking phone, girl. And I didn't dial anything.
Operator, give me dispatch.
I clearly just pretended. I know my game.
Putting you through now.
Put this through.
Phelps, badge 1247.
Oh my God.
How can I help, detective?
You know what you can
I need
do,
an address
girl.
on a Jermaine
She's the same
Jones
thing every time.
musical
Why?
booking
She's obviously not really a person.
Just a moment, detective.
Okay, now she's gonna say something different. Santa Monica. I love Santa Monica Boulevard.
28 Santa Monica Boulevard.
God. Okay,
Thanks for your
BRT.
help.
I'm putting my GPS IRL. OMFG, what if I did?
I'm sorry, my dear.
He said to his wife.
Thomas is in trouble with the police, and I must go at once.
At the station, Thomas's driver told the fat controller what had happened. Dangerous to the public, indeed. The fat controller spoke to the policeman, I suppose. Thomas is indeed dangerous to the public. But however much he argued with him, it was no good. The law is the law, is the law, is the law, is the law, he said, and we can't change it. The fat controller felt exhausted. "I'm sorry, driver," he said. "It's no use arguing with policemen. We will have to make those cowcatcher things for Thomas, I suppose." "Everyone will laugh, sir," said Thomas. "They'll say I look like a tram." The fat controller stirred. Then he laughed.
Well done, Thomas. Why didn't I think of it before? We need a tram engine. When I was on my holiday, I met a nice little engine called Toby. He takes freight cars from the farms, but the trucks are taking over the planet, and he needs a change. He has cow catchers and side plates.
I'll write to his controller at once. A few days later, Toby arrived. "That's a good engine," said the fat controller. I see you've brought your coach, Henrietta. You don't mind, do you, sir? Asked Toby. We couldn't allow that, said the Fat Controller. Toby was disappointed. Thomas was jealous. Toby and the policeman have been firm friends ever since.